video, or should I turn the light off? Are we good?
I'm gonna use the video and the audio, but I'm just gonna rip it out and put it in YouTube and whatnot.
Okay. Dave,
You're fine the way you
oh,
are,
okay.
because it's more the audio that I'm interested in. So we're recording right now. So this is oh, Jet, can you turn that off? Because I could just cut this down later. All right, here we go. So this is Geekin. Yeah, Jen's in the background somewhere. She
Hi,
can't hear.
Jen.
Hi, Jen.
She can't hear you guys, but she's waving. So we're recording now, and this is Geekin' Out. This is a show that happens on Misdirected Mark Productions. My name is Chris, and I am joined by my girl Friday, Jesse. Dave is also part of the show, but he hasn't seen Heroes Reborn yet because he's lame.
Oh yeah, he's so lame having to go to work.
I know,
Yeah.
that work thing.
What an awful person I am.
Yeah, but this is our first gut reaction to the two-part premiere of Heroes, so there will be spoilers. So if you don't want to be spoiled, don't listen. All right.
Yeah, don't.
So Jesse, what did you think?
Well, I'm going to start off with saying I never watched the original series.
Okay.
So I watched the first one of the shorts that came out like maybe a month ago, and that's it. I actually enjoyed it a lot.
I thought it was fantastic. It made me feel all the things about Heroes that I loved back when Heroes was first on the first season of Heroes. It's got all that goodness right into it, and it's just great. It's wonderful. And so tell me, what were some of your favorite parts? What were some of your favorite characters?
Well, one of my standout moments is when the Japanese girl, the katana girl.
Her name is Miko Otomo.
Miko, I'm terrible with names. When she finds the sword and pulls it in just like very, very quickly in a very comic book like way, ends up in a video game.
Yep.
Like I have absolutely no idea how that works in terms of evolution, but it was still like after I got over the initial shock of it, I enjoyed it very much.
The comic book too, right? So I wasn't sure how that. What the heck is that noise? Is it you? All right. So that the comic book that explains her destiny, her prophecy, that's a thing that they have done in previous seasons of Heroes too. So it's an homage to that. And yeah, like it's your father's sword, and it's under the floor in his study, and he was the guy who designed the game. I'm like, oh, this is so a little Ready Player One going on here. Also on top of all that, I'm like, this is amazing. So yeah, I agree. I thought that was great. I also really dig the kid Tommy, who can make things disappear with his hand.
I really want to like Tommy. The problem is every time I look at him, I see Peter Pan.
His ears are a little... because he's Peter... Was he Peter
Once
Pan?
Upon a Time.
Really?
Yeah, he's Peter Pan in Once Upon a Time.
Ah, okay. He's Peter Pan.
Every time, and Peter Pan in that show was such an awful character for an entire half season that's all I could think of. So it's going to take a little bit longer to wash that away.
It was the moment when he got punched in the gut by the kid who ends up being his friend, and he didn't make him disappear. I'm like, I like you, kid. I feel bad for you. Your life is terrible. Yeah. Heroes Reborn, the premise is this is 5 years after Heroes is over, and there's supposed to be a summit of people, of Evos and humans getting together to celebrate them being one people, one togetherness, and then a tragedy occurs. There's a huge explosion. They blame it on Mohinder, who is from the original show, and things go rapidly down from there, and it starts feeling very X-Men like, where evils are hunted and killed.
Yeah.
Or hunted and taken, at least, or registered, things like that.
Incredibly X-Men, yeah. Not that that's a bad thing, but...
So I find that the Luke Collins character, that's Zachary Levi, who played Chuck on Chuck, and his wife, Joanne Collins, that's played by Judith Sinconi. Yeah, Ciccone, that's her name. They're a fascinating pair of characters because they're not working for anybody, right? They're just going around killing Evos because their kid got murdered at that thing that happened on July 13th or June 13th? June 13th.
June. They only said it more times than Phil said Delta.
That's right. We are not straying from the we are Delta. We are not doing the Delta here. We are doing June 13th.
Sorry, Phil.
It's funny because you said it a lot.
Yeah, thank you, Dave. I'm glad Dave is participating. What else? What else was good for you?
I especially liked the back half once it started picking up pace a little bit.
You know, the second episode for me wasn't as good as the first one because the first one was, they dropped all those, they raised all those questions, right?
Yeah, that's true.
So I mean, I like the second episode, the back half of it, and I like that the crazy couple that wants to kill people, that wants to kill evils, they got the list of every evil that exists.
Yeah, they do have the list.
Yeah.
The only thing that concerns me is that, again, with the same season as Peter Pan, Once Upon a Time did that.
Really?
Exactly. Yeah, they were killing fairy tale characters, a married pair of normal humans. So I feel like they ripped a little bit too much from a really bad season of Once Upon a Time.
Yeah, well, I'm okay with that because these guys handling this material, I think it'll go pretty good if they're going to pull off something like they did with the first season. And this is only 13 episodes long.
Yeah, that's also a very good thing. I think they're going to do very good with this season, and I was just surprised with how many similarities it had with that half season of Once.
I was shocked because I felt like I was watching Sense8 a little bit because of how many characters there are. But I felt like they handled it a little bit better, actually.
Yeah. I feel like they actually had more characters going on.
Maybe.
But they all have more of a common theme tying them together. I know in Sense8 they all have the fact that they're there's the Sense8 group.
Yeah, they're part of the collective. Yeah, they're whatever.
But they each have individual stories going on for themselves, completely different. Where in Heroes, they're all trying to progress the same storyline. There's one major storyline going on.
Yes.
Where Sense8 had like 8 characters and 12 storylines.
Yeah, it's the meta plot of the story seems to be is the thing that's impacting all of their lives, whereas in Sense8 it felt like there was a bunch of outside forces impacting all of their lives, not the same overarching thing. I can totally see that, yeah.
So there's less going on.
Yes, I agree. So Noah Bennett, that's the cheerleader's dad, which is not really her dad for those people who don't know. I mean, it is her dad, but it isn't like he sort of adopted her back in the original series. And the meta plot of the story, that's what will call it, seems to mostly be revolving around him. He is sort of our viewpoint character into what's really going on behind the scenes. And he is now looking for the girl. Her name is... that's the girl that can find anybody by just thinking about her. And her name is Molly Walker. That was her name. She was played by a little girl in the first series, and she was a big plot point in a lot of cases. They had to protect her. They had to move her around. They had to do this. And now she's much older, and she makes an appearance, and it's quite interesting what's going on with her. But they need to get to her because she can find anybody, and Noah wants to find out what happened to his daughter, the cheerleader, who is supposedly dead, but maybe not.
Yeah. Did you watch the prequel shorts?
I did not watch the prequel shorts.
Okay, so you know that girl who she's in one scene and she's controlling in a weird like Aurora Borealis type setting?
Yeah, she's got a name.
Yeah, I can't remember it, but she's the little sister of that character who's hanging out with Noah. And she's the main character. Yeah, and she's the main character of the shorts, like when she's off going to college at Odessa.
I believe her name is Melina.
Yeah.
I think that's her name. That's interesting. That's fascinating.
Yeah, she's the main character of Dark Matter.
Nice. I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna start watching all those shorts because I think they're all on.
Yeah, there's like 45 minutes of them, and I think it's all like legal on YouTube.
Ah, very cool, very cool. Hi, Brant Lane. It's nice to see you. We're talking about Heroes Reborn. We're a bit of the way into the conversation right now, and we're actually getting close to wrapping it up because it's late here.
All the people are showing up.
We're recording this for a podcast, so and we're having like a couple of minutes, and then we're gonna be done. But thanks for listening, and maybe in the future, if we do this more, we will have these conversations and start inviting people on to comment on what they thought too.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
This is our test run with Blab. We've never used Blab before for this, but thanks for the
It was very easy to use.
Yeah, it's really cool. I really like it. So last thing is the luchador. That's Carlos Gutierrez. That was the one that caught me for a loop. I thought he was the luchador right off the bat. I didn't realize it was his brother. I mean, I should have guessed it, but with everything else that was going on, it threw me for a loop.
Yeah, yeah. That I feel like that plot line got swept under the rug a little bit for like to make time for other things.
Yeah, and I dig the whole Underground Railroad thing they're doing. That's really cool.
Yeah, yeah.
So that one, I can't wait to see. I was like, I hope he puts on the mask. He's got to put on the mask, right? Like he's gonna put on the mask at some point, because I thought he was at first. Then his brother died with him. Like that's totally you better pass it on. The priest threw me a little bit too, because I thought I was just a priest. In fact, I think I might have liked that priest character a lot better if he would have just been a normal human being.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to wait to see more of that storyline before I can comment on it, because it kind of just threw me around a little.
Yep. So then that's it. That's really all I have to say for right now. I think it's going to be great. Yeah. And this is us, I guess, signing off from. Do you have any last thoughts?
No, I think I'm good. You got any last thoughts, Chris?
I think it's gonna be great. There's 11 more episodes left. It's fall. Yeah. That means TV's on. It's like our favorite season for a lot of reasons. There's so much good stuff going on. I don't know how I'm gonna get any work done.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right. Well, with that.
Well, I'll let you go do work or whatever, or sleep or whatever you're doing.
Yeah, I will say keep on geeking on. Bye, Dave. Bye, Jesse. Bye, everybody out there.